Welcome back, Wildcat Nation, to episode 8 of season 7. I'm Abby Harvey with Isaac Wolf, and today we will be spotlighting the men's track team. We will be joined by senior Jacob Harberts and junior Tommy Ott.
Harberts and Ott were members of the mid-distance relay that qualified as All-American at Indoor Nationals, where they set a program record with a time of 9 minutes and 59.53 seconds. Harberts also participated in the 4x8 while Ott competed in the 1 mile, both earning top 15 finishes nationally.
Before we get started, here's your Crossroads League Week in Review.
I'm Isaac Wolf with your Crossroads League Week in Review. We are in postseason for basketball, so let's check out how the first and second rounds went for the 11 Crossroads League representatives in the men's and women's tournaments. In the men's tournament in the Naismith quadrant, the 3-seed Huntington got the opportunity to host their first and second round matchups. Their first round matchup against the 14-seed Lords was a 77-51 win. Lane Sparks put up 25 in the win. Landon Jordan added 17 and 11 for the Foresters. In round 2, they lost 80-66 to the 6th-seed Northwestern of Iowa. Lane Sparks was again the leading scorer with 20, but his help was not as strong as Drew Goodline with 13 points on 4 of 15 shooting was the only other Forester in double figures. The Foresters finished the season 25-8. The 10-seed St. Francis in the Naismith quadrant won their first-round matchup with Lewis Clark State of Idaho 81-73. The starters did the heavy lifting, scoring 73 of the 81 points, led by Elijah Malone with 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. In round 2, they lost 83-64 to the 4-seed Georgetown of Kentucky. Malone again led with 18 points and 9 rebounds, and leading scorer Luke Almodovar struggled with just 7 points on 2 of 10 shooting. He was averaging 20 points per game coming into that game. The Cougars finished the season 18-13. We move to the Dewar quadrant, where the 9-seed Spring Arbor won their first-round matchup with Cornerstone 83-81. Travis Grayson led the way with 33 points and 5 assists on 12 of 16 shooting, while Gabe Newhoff and Kevin Robertson added double-doubles. The Cougars ultimately fell short to the 1-seed Freed Hardeman of Tennessee 71-69 in round 2. Both teams shot exactly 26 of 52 from the field. Freed Hardeman was 10 of 20 from 3. Spring Arbor was 10 of 21 from 3. It was a very even game. Freed Hardeman just got to the line a little bit more, 9 of 15 from there compared to Spring Arbor, who was 7 for 8. Shane Risky missed the potential game-tying shot with 3 seconds left, ending the Cougars' season. They finished with a 20-11 record. The 5-seed Indiana Wesleyan got the chance to host their first and second round matchups, and they won their first round matchup 96-77 over the 12-seed Madonna. Cademan Bontrager led the Wildcats with 28 points and 9 rebounds. Griffin Cleaver filled out the stat sheet as well with 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. In round 2, they lost 88-74 to the 4-seed Life of Georgia. Luke Brown did what he could to keep the Wildcats in it with 24 points, but 21 second-half points from SSAC Player of the Year Chase Harris were too much for Iowa to overcome. The Wildcats finished the season with a 22-10 record, the second time in the last 3 years they have finished the season with double-digit losses. In the Tonagel era, the Wildcats only had double-digit losses 3 times in 18 seasons leading up to 2023. In the listing quadrant, the 4-seed Bethel got the opportunity to host their first and second round matchups. They won over Peru State of Nebraska 83-69 in round 1, led by a balanced attack from Luke McBride, who had 15, Trent Edwards, who had 13, and James Anderson, who had 12. In round 2, they defeated Morningside of Iowa 93-84. The big story in this one was their bench production, as the Pilots got 64 points from their reserves, helped by Jameer Jefferson with 23 off the bench, Colin Comer with 19 off the bench, and Bo Jackway with 19 off the bench. The Pilots will face LSU Alexandria, the 1-seed in the listing quadrant, on Friday at 6 p.m. in Kansas City in the Sweet 16. In the Kramer quadrant, the 2-seed Grace hosted their first and second round matchups, and they defeated 15-seeded Carolina University 121-69 in the first round. 6 Lancers scored in double figures, led by the Ians, Rosh and Scott. Scott had 22, Rosh had 21. In round 2, they defeated the 7-seed Pikeville of Kentucky 75-67. Rosh and Scott each had 18 points. Grace will play the 11-seed St. Mary of the Woods from Terre Haute, Indiana at 4 p.m. on Thursday in Kansas City for their round of 16 matchup, as them and Bethel are the only Crossroads League teams left in the tournament on the men's side. In the women's tournament, as for the Naismith quadrant, the 3-seed Marion hosted their first and second round matchups, and their first round game was a thriller, a 73-63 overtime win over the 14-seed St. Xavier of Illinois. Abby McNally willed the Knights to a win with 28 points and 27 rebounds. With her 20th rebound in the fourth quarter, she broke the program's all-time rebounding record, and she's just a junior. Round 2 was a 76-66 win over the 11th seed Milligan of Tennessee. A bit more of a balanced attack. McNally had 22 and 10. Kirby Kenna added 16. Olivia Faust added 13 points and 7 rebounds in the winning effort. The Marion Knights will play the 2-seed Cumberlands of Kentucky at 8 p.m. on Thursday in the round of 16 in Sioux City, Iowa. In the Door Quadrant, the 14-seed Spring Arbor Cougars lost their first-round matchup with the 3-seed Briarcliff of Iowa 65-61. Alana Nelson had 20 points and 14 rebounds. It was almost enough to bring the Cougars back from a 15-point deficit at halftime, but they ultimately fell short of the upset. The Cougars finished the season 19-12. In the listing quadrant, the number 1 seed Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats hosted their first and second round matchups. They defeated Philander Smith of Arkansas 85-51 in the first round. Lily Frazier and Taylor Folkema combined for 47 points in that one. And round 2 featured a 71-60 win over the 8 seed Grandview of Iowa. Frazier neared a triple-double with 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Emily Mattingly had a big fourth quarter, scoring all 11 of her points and hitting 3 threes. They will play Georgetown of Kentucky at noon on Friday in the round of 16. The 3-seed St. Francis, hosting for the first time in program history, lost their first-round matchup to the 14-seed Indiana Tech 64-60. Cassidy Crawford, Callie Gregory, and Chloe McKnight pulled their weight, combining for 46 points, but the rest of the team struggled, shooting just 6 of 15 from the field in the season-ending loss. The Lady Cougars finished the season with a record of 26-5, with 2 of those losses coming in the final 2 games of the season. In the Kramer Quadrant, 12-seeded Huntington upset the 5th seed LSU Shreveport 64-56 in their first-round matchup on the back of their starters, who scored all but 3 of the Forster points. In round 2, they lost 90-66 to Hastings of Nebraska. Bailey Kellum put up 23 points, but it ultimately fell short of taking the Foresters to Sioux City. They finished the season with a record of 18-13. In competition cheer, the Crossroads League Championships took place over the weekend at Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Indiana Wesleyan took their 5th straight conference championship with a score of 87.72. Marion and St. Francis tied for second with a score of 81.99, so it wasn't particularly close, with Taylor coming in right behind them in 4th with a score of 81.79. The Wildcats earned an automatic bid to the NAIA National Championship, happening on the campus of Eastern Michigan University. The Wildcats were also featured all over the season conference award winners, as Ethan White won Co-Crossroads League Athlete of the Year with Malin Neola of Marion. 8 Wildcats were selected to the All-Conference First Team, with an additional 4 being named to Second Team. As for this week's Crossroads League Awards, the Baseball Player of the Week is Sam Glad of Taylor. Glad homered 4 times in a doubleheader sweep of Huntington and added 2 more in a 4-game sweep of Spring Arbor. For the week, Glad powered number 18 Taylor to a 6-0 record with 6 home runs, 3 doubles, 12 runs scored, and 15 runs batted in while batting .545. The Baseball Pitcher of the Week is Adam Walters of Bethel. Walters tossed a complete game shutout to deliver the 1-0 win for Bethel in a series win over Goshen. The junior allowed just 3 hits and 3 walks over his 7 scoreless frames to take the victory. The Softball Player of the Week is Briley Bilger of Indiana Wesleyan. Bilger hit .625 with 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and 9 RBI to lead number 18 Iowa to sweeps of Spring Arbor and Taylor. The senior posted a batting average of .625 while reaching base at an .824 clip and slugging .1625. The Softball Pitcher of the Week is Mulaney Clemens of Indiana Wesleyan. Clemens took the circle in all 4 games for number 18 Indiana Wesleyan, sparking a 4-0 week for the Wildcats with 11 scoreless innings of work. Clemens went 2-0 with 1 save in her 4 outings, posting 11 strikeouts and a 0.64 whip to go with her 0 ERA. The Women's Outdoor Track and Field Track Athlete of the Week is Kiara Bahena of St. Francis. Bahena took the track for St. Francis in the 800 and 1500 meters, finishing top 3 in each event at the Falcon Classic. The Women's Outdoor Track and Field Athlete of the Week is Hannah Borsema of St. Francis. Borsema posted a winning distance of 39.7 meters in the javelin for St. Francis at the season-opening Falcon Classic. The Men's Outdoor Track and Field Track Athlete of the Week is Hugo Humbert of St. Francis. Humbert competed in the steeplechase for St. Francis at the Falcon Classic, winning the race and breaking the St. Francis program record with a time of 9 minutes and 48.39 seconds. The Men's Outdoor Track and Field Athlete of the Week is Joey Rawerda of St. Francis. Rawerda set a new St. Francis program record in the pole vault and automatically qualified for NAIA Nationals with a second-place height of 5 meters in his first event of the outdoor season. The Women's Golfer of the Week is Eleanor Skytma of Taylor. Skytma scored her first collegiate win with Taylor and helped the number 16 Trojans secure their 4th team title of the season. The freshman fired scores of 76 and 71 to win the Baker Invite by 4 strokes. The Men's Golfer of the Week is Weston Ogden of Marion. Ogden finished 11th on the individual leaderboard for Marion at the Kaiser Cup. The junior posted scores of 75, 76, and 71 over the 3-round event. The women's tennis player of the week is Yasmin Imamniazova of Marion. Imamniazova went 2-0 at number 1 singles and 1-1 at number 1 doubles for number 16 Marion, helping the Knights to team wins over receiving votes Missouri Baptist and number 19 Cumberlands. And the men's tennis player of the week is Filippo Gallo of Goshen. Gallo highlighted Goshen's 5-2 team win over Olivet Nazarene with wins at number 2 singles and number 2 doubles. Gallo did not drop a set in the contest. That's all for this week with your Crossroads League Week in Review. I'm Isaac Wolf.
So you guys both just obviously completed your indoor season. How was running at nationals, and describe the environment in that competition?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were in Gainesville, Florida, so the weather was very nice. Nice to be out there, and like super competitive meet. So a lot of like NAIA records are going on. So like a lot of good performances, and it was a lot of fun being out there.
I thought it was pretty intimidating being there and just seeing all the best athletes from all the NAIA schools across the country, just being in one area. It was intimidating, but it was also pretty cool just to be around all the best of the best, and it makes us better running against them. So it was cool.
What events did you guys run at indoor, and then how'd you place in them?
I ran the DMR distance medley relay, and then also did the mile. And
I also did the DMR relay, and then I did the 4x8 relay. And our 4x8, we didn't make it to finals. We were close. We got 11th place overall, and our DMR placed sixth. So we got All-American title. Yeah.
So how'd you guys get into track?
My older brothers, they first ran, so I always saw them doing it, and figured I'd give it a try too. And that was like in middle school, and loved it since.
I got into track because my mom has always ran 5Ks for as long as I can remember, and she had me start doing them in my elementary school. And in like middle school, I started to do track just because my friends told me to come out and do it. So it was just an excuse to do something else after school.
Did you guys play any other sports growing up, or was track like the only thing you did?
When I was really young, I played pretty much everything. I played basketball all throughout kind of middle school and high school.
I played soccer till my freshman year of high school, and then I had to make a decision between that and running cross country and track full time. So I chose track.
What separated track and cross country from soccer?
Well, cross country and soccer were in the same. They were both in the fall, so it was pretty much impossible to do both unless you wanted to not be good at one or be super good at the other. So I had to make a decision, and I was better at track, so that's what went into that.
Was track something that brought you guys to IWU, or were you planning on coming here already? How does like the track recruiting process, I guess, work?
Yeah, my older brother came here and he was on the team, so running's definitely was a big decision. I really love the team atmosphere and the coaches here, so that was probably the biggest decision for me coming here.
I didn't start my college career here. I went to Siena Heights University before this, and when I transferred here, it was partially about track, but it was more so the faith aspect that was here, and also the academics were a lot better. So that's what got me here.
So with so many people and like the variety of different things that the entire track team does, having both men and women as well, what do practices look like with all those people?
Yeah, it's kind of chaotic some days at practice. There's everybody's doing different things. A lot of times the distance people will split up from more of the sprinters and stuff, and we'll have a little different track practice times. But yeah, everybody's just out there all at once kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we tend to meet in our own little individual event groups, just so we're not all in one area, because it does get pretty chaotic, like Tommy said. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we all meet as a team, either in Troyer or on the outdoor track, just so we can all see each other as one big group before we compete that weekend.
Thoughts on the new Troyer floor?
It's beautiful.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. We practice softball out there, so I always like to know what the runners' thoughts are. With both of you guys being upperclassmen and kind of having a big impact on the team, how have you stepped into leadership roles? Or do you see yourself as leaders?
For me, it's just trying to uplift and encourage my teammates as best as possible, cheer them on when they have a rough practice day, just lift them up, encourage them. And because my first couple of years here, I struggled a lot with injuries. I was felt like I was falling behind. but I had guys pour into me, and like so just trying to do that for other people.
To be completely honest, I don't really feel like a leader on the team just because it's only my second year here. And I feel like becoming a leader is a progression through freshman year, sophomore year, all the way up until you're a senior. I mean, I don't ask people if they see me as a leader, but people do come up to me and like ask for help or like guidance or something just because I am one of the older people on the team. So I guess that's how I play into the leader role.
After the finish at indoor nationals, how do you transition to outdoor, and how are you guys feeling for the outdoor season?
Nothing really changes. We just kind of keep practicing, keep training, and I'm super excited for outdoor just because we never really train for indoor nationals specifically. We're always training for outdoor to like peak at outdoor and be our best then. So just knowing that like there's a lot of improvement that we can all have as a team and like potential for a lot of success at outdoor.
Yeah, our coaches like to emphasize that just because we finished one nationals, that means the job's not done. Like we still have a whole nother season to go. So we only took like 2 or 3 days off from practice. So we're just right back into it. It's pretty much just a continuous flow.
Does the idea of peaking for outdoor nationals kind of take the pressure off of performance, I guess, results, that sort of thing in indoor?
Probably not. There's still like there's still huge importance on it and focus like towards doing well there. But I guess a little bit in the sense of like if you don't have the way it goes, it's like there's still hope for good outdoor season.
Yeah, I feel like just because indoor isn't our main focus, it's still like pretty important for us because we want to develop as an athlete throughout the whole year and not just start from when outdoor begins, or else you're kind of starting from behind, I guess, from everybody else.
With IWU hosting nationals outdoor, is this the last year of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's that experience been?
I've loved it. Like it's just fun having all the teams come to campus and like having that atmosphere. I think it's super cool, and it's nice just to like being able to walk from my dorm to the track and stuff, and like no stress of traveling or doing anything. Everything just feels like routine, and just really comfortable being back home.
Yeah, it is pretty cool because we get to stay here through the whole month of May and hang out with our teammates and just practice. And it's a cool experience seeing, like Tommy said, just seeing all the other teams from over the country staying at our campus. Seeing there's a lot of new faces, and it's cool just being able to walk outside, and it's nationals.
I've heard people kind of compare it to like the Olympic Village vibes, because don't they stay in the dorms?
Yeah.
So you just like everyone's around all the time.
Yeah,
I feel
pretty
like.
much.
What's like the biggest difference from indoor track to outdoor track for someone who doesn't know anything about track?
Honestly, it's just the weather, in my opinion. I hate being outside. Well, it's for track. It's because there's so many things you have to worry about. Like if it's raining, if there's 25-mile-an-hour winds, which is not terribly uncommon here in Marion, you get to worry about the heat later in the spring. So there's just so many more elements that I hate thinking about because track is already stressful enough. That's why I like indoor better, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely like the weather is just like a big factor. It can always like be changing from race to race and like where you're racing at. And then for indoor, we do normally race on 200-meter tracks or 300-meter tracks, and outdoors 400. So it's just less laps, which is nice to not have to count those.
What's the dynamic of, and we kind of alluded to this earlier, but having such a big team with both men and women, because there are very few teams that, practice and have, both genders in the same area so often. I see you guys getting dinner all the time. What's that kind of like?
Yeah, it's super cool. Just like have like a guys and girls team. We're just kind of like brothers and sisters, all going out there working hard, practicing every day. Like we know what we all go through, and like the dedication that it takes. So just being able to do that together, I think it just like creates a lot of strength between us.
Yeah, I think it is pretty special that we're all together for a majority of the time because we all have unique experiences, especially being a guy or a girl, and it's just, I don't know, it helps us all grow in our faith, in my opinion.
If you had to kind of look ahead to outdoor, what are your individual goals based off of either how you performed in indoor or just last season or anything? And if you have team goals too.
I think our 4x8 could be like really strong at nationals. He had like an awesome indoor meet and like has really been improving the past like few meets. So I think we have a lot of guys who can still keep growing better. I think that like a really good shot to place high and be All-Americans. And then I think my specific event would be the 800. I want to like just trying to make finals at nationals and hopefully be an All-American.
Yeah, I mean, our 4x8 does have a very good shot of qualifying for the just nationals and especially going into the finals. But I guess an individual goal for me is just to stay healthy because it's been I don't remember the last season I had that I haven't been injured, and I made it through indoor without an injury, and I'm just hoping these last month and a half can go pain-free. So that's my individual goal.
What kinds of things does the team do for spiritual growth?
For the cross-country team specifically, we have group every Wednesday, and we normally just go around saying how each other's weeks have been going, and then we'll really dive into just scripture, and then we'll always have devotionals a lot for meets and with the coaches and stuff.
Yeah, we do the same thing. Just because it's such a big group of guys, the cross-country guys meet separate and the track guys meet separate on different days. But yeah, we do the same thing. We go into our little groups, we go over scripture, work on keeping each other, like holding each other accountable, go do devotions. And then our head coach, Coach Snyder, has started a group for the guys portion of the team for every Wednesday morning. We're going to start meeting and just going over scripture and what we need to work on to like grow in our faith.
If you had to pick one big takeaway from your time at IWU, either on the track team or just at IWU in general, what do you think basically your biggest takeaway that's helped you grow as a person or in your faith?
Probably just being grateful for, like, this is the only time where I'll ever have, like, I have 25 guys I just run with every day that are in great shape, and we're all like pursuing running and trying to pursue the Lord, and like just how thankful I am for it, like have that to grow in my faith and grow with like each other. Like it's such a special thing. Can't take that for granted.
Yeah, there's not many schools or places that you can go that has this many people that are focused on a common goal of growing in your faith with Jesus. And it's pretty special just to be around those guys every day, just being able to talk about what you want to talk about, and they'll understand and help you through anything you want. So the community here is pretty awesome.
So, Tommy, you still have another year left, but Jacob, what are the plans next year?
I got accepted into a grad school in Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice.
So I won't be running anymore, which I'm not totally upset about. It's been a while since I've not had to run, so it'll be a nice change, but it'll be different.
And what grad school?
It's American University. It's School of International Affairs.
Nice.
If you had to pick one memory, and this will be our last question, if you had to pick one memory from your time here, which one is your favorite or which one stands out the most?
These are always where the fun answers are.
There's always been, at the start of our cross-country season, we'll have a team camp up in Michigan, and there's always like just a bunch of fun, like just dumb stuff we'll do at parks there. I just like, there's one day we just climbed this one sand dune and like all just like slid down it and then ran to the Great Lakes. That was a fun memory.
The track team, we go to Ketchum Woods in the beginning of our season, and I don't know. It's not like necessarily what we do there. It's just the fact that we're all together in one place, and we don't. It's not like we're at practice, so we don't have to worry about running. We can just play football or, play hide and seek in the woods or something, or just like run around and do whatever. And I don't know. That's probably one of my best memories here. Yeah, just being with the guys.
That's all we have. Good luck with your outdoor season.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining. Thanks, Wildcat Nation, for tuning into episode 8 with IWU Men's Track, Jacob Harberts and Tommy Ott. I'm Abby Harvey with Isaac Wolf here on Wildcat Week, presented by Amplify Media.